Canada. Hello everybody, it's Tom here from the Company Code, author, educator and public speaker. Today I'm going to talk about my experience of the country, Canada. I had the pleasure of visiting Canada back in 2012 for my cousin Richard's wedding to his wife who's Canadian national. I've only visited once. I'd like to see more of it. I'd definitely like to go to the West Coast and to Vancouver. I have family over that way and it'd be really wonderful to go and visit them at some point, as I've only seen my dad's cousin now 3 times in my life, and yeah, that's a lot of years gone by without really knowing the guy, to be honest, even though I've spoken to him a couple of times in the brief times he's been over in the UK. But there you go. So what was my experience of Canada like? Well, first and foremost, you've heard me wax lyrical about America, how much I love America. And guys, beyond no illusions, America is still one of my top destinations as a tourist. I really love the people, I really love the culture. I think very highly of America, okay? Canada, as its own standalone country, is also really brilliant and really great, okay? But in different ways, and I will elaborate. So, if I'm being a little bit tongue-in-cheek here, and some will go, yeah, whatever, Tom, I could refer to like Canada as being like America's younger, better looking sister, if that makes sense. And I know that some of you that are Canadian watching this will probably laugh, and then some of you Americans will be like, whatever, what did you just say, you know? But I don't mean it as a disrespect. It's an absolutely beautiful country. Beyond no illusions, parts of America are stunning as well. But where I went really did feel and have that vibe, you know, of beauty. So yeah, Canada I visited back in June, late June, early July of 2012, okay? My cousin Richard, on my mum's side, he has married a Canadian woman. She's part Filipino as well, so her family are immigrants that have moved to Canada. Canada as a country has a massive pull immigration wise. I know multiple people that have said they'd like to live there. I know of people that have moved there. I know that back then, obviously it's nearly 10 years ago now, there was a really high demand for people that were moving there. They were selling condos and apartments like you would not believe, particularly in Toronto where I was. And it really does have that appeal to anybody who's from another country. And I can totally understand why, even just visiting as a tourist for like a week. Yeah, it's a fantastic place really. So, flew out to Canada on my own. Mum and dad couldn't make it, and none of the rest of the family could. Obviously my cousin's brother, sister and her children flew out, and my aunt was there as well, obviously to see her son get married. I was one of the few actually from my mum's side really that actually managed to go to the wedding, and was privileged to be there, to be honest. So I flew out, met up with my cousin at the airport. We got into the city. I sat down at an Italian restaurant, had my first meal there. Got to meet obviously my cousin's wife's sister and some of her friends. And then after that was the night of the stag do. So like the first day I got there was the stag do. Now, bear in mind I had flown thousands of miles to this foreign country on my own. I was a little bit jet lagged, a little bit tired, as you'd expect, you know, flying over time zones. And it was nice weather from what I remember. Got into Canada at about, I think it was early lunchtime, sort of about 12, between 12 and 1. Got in, settled into my hotel, which was very, very nice, I may add, it really was. And once I freshened up, got notification as to where I had to be for the evening. I was meeting my cousin Richard and his friends in a sports bar downtown. Went downtown to find the location, got outside the bar, walked up to the door, got greeted by like the staff. Like I mentioned that I was there for a stag do. I mentioned that it was my cousin, and they were like, he's not here yet. Now, I wasn't too chuffed because obviously I'd travelled all this way and the guy's late for his own funeral. Pardon the expression. But yeah, anyway, literally, it wasn't just a little bit late, I may add, it was like nearly an hour. You had me waiting there in the lobby and I wasn't best chuffed. But it is what it is. The night still went ahead, we still had good fun, we still had a few drinks and a laugh. One of his friends was watching the soccer, as you Americans and Canadians like to call it. We call it football. And didn't really understand the game, but was kind of getting into it the more I was explaining as the alcohol was flowing. And yeah, we had a really good night. And then next day, woke up, wasn't feeling too bad. And really the rest of my time there was sort of preparing for the wedding, which was at the end of the week, and familiarising myself with the town. Well, what I've got to say about Toronto is it really is a beautiful, beautiful city. It's one of the cleanest places I've ever been, and I have to say that, really it is. You rarely see much trash on the ground, they really take care of it. There's lots of beautiful high-rise buildings, there's plenty of things to see and do. You know, I was quite close to the Blue Jays stadium. I got to go up the CN Tower. Now, if you're a little bit about heights, be careful when you go up there because there's a glass floor and you won't help yourself but look down and try not to, try not to forget your heart race when you're looking down as to how many thousands of foot you are up in the air. But it's beautiful, it's scenic, and it's just it's got a really nice vibe to the place, I think culturally you've got a really strong mix there. Obviously certain parts of Canada are French, like Montreal, Quebec. Toronto is probably more sort of British, and you do see the British influence there, perhaps more than you would in America. Alright, America had a lot of British immigrants moved there many, many years ago to make up that part of the makeup of America, if you like. But Canada perhaps leans slightly, perhaps more towards the British in some respects. Perhaps that's maybe another reason I felt a little bit more, not at home, but more taken with them, even though I do, as I've said, really love Americans as well. Yeah, everything I wanted was in literally a few blocks of my hotel, really. I did venture further down into the town and go and visit some of the more like attractive areas, shall we say, so where you've got like some of the retail outlets, the shops. I remember calling my parents from a food hall in the mall, just saying, just having some food for a few short minutes. In the evenings, I ate out a lot. I, found myself some really nice places. But as I was on my own, I did try and keep myself within a certain radius of my hotel. Just so one, I didn't get lost, and two, if anything happened, I was quite close, mainly for my own safety sort of thing. Being in a foreign country on your own, of course. And yeah, I even had the pleasure of Canada's National Day, which is like July the 1st. And wow, what a celebration. And Americans go crazy on the 4th of July. Canadians equally really embrace it, and it's so pleasing to see. I remember an Canadian couple giving me a Canadian flag. I've still got it, little pin for my coat, and yeah, really wonderfully warm people. They were talking about how much they love the royal family, and like England really appeals to them as a place to visit. And I was like, yeah, you should come, definitely. I'll definitely show you around sometime. But yeah, towards the latter end of the week came obviously the wedding. Now, The age-old phrase is it will always be all right on the night came to hand, because literally a couple of days before the wedding, I didn't know where I was going. I had no clue how I was getting there. Obviously my cousin was trying to rush around getting all these last minute things sorted out, and it was looking like I was going to miss what I'd primarily gone to the country for. But as sure as I said, it's always all right on the night, and it was. So I was pointed out very kindly by one of the concierges at the hotel I was staying in what train I needed to catch, what coach I needed to get on. They were doing like a bus tour or a coach that dropped you off at a mall, which wasn't too far from where my cousin was staying. So what I did was I got over on the trains to try and find the area where my cousin was getting married. My cousin was getting married, by the way, out in the middle of a nature reserve in the middle of nowhere. Only when I was on my way to find that place did I really understand just how vast the country is. And yeah, England, I've said it many a time, Britain is just like